Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm glad to be streaming once again. I am Monk Dan. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Thanks for checking out the channel. What I like to do on my channel is I like to seek and share wisdom through philosophy. Yes, yes, yes. If you are new to the channel, once again, thank you for swinging by. Hit the like button for me. Send me some comments and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my stream, man. Check out my channel. Yes. So today's topic, as you see, drifter or non-drifter. What in the world am I talking about? Am I talking about
Drifting on a memory. Ain't no place I'd rather be than with you.
No, I'm not talking about that type of drifting. Drifting. Okay, see. No. Drifting on the midnight. Yo, no, I'm talking about Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, Chapter 4. Chapter 4's title is Drifting with the Devil. All right, before, just a quick disclaimer, man. I'm going to try my best not to get too involved in the religious aspect of this. How about, I'll say it this way.
Jesus said and Jesus went. Oh, yeah. Jesus heard and Jesus walked over. Oh, yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about Jesus this evening.
I don't want to talk about Jesus. I don't want to talk about all of that. All right, let's just get into it, man. Drifter or non-drifter? So, just to kind of give you a background of the chapter and what's going on. So, Napoleon Hill, he's talking to the devil, and he's trying to figure out what the fuck a drifter or non-drifter is. You know, he's trying to understand, the devil's mission of seeking out drifters, if you will. And so he finally gets this point to he talks to the devil. And let's get right into it. Let me get to the chapter here. He gets right to the point of questioning the devil. And he says to the devil, he questions the devil, and he says, describe all the ways in which you induce people to drift. Define the word and tell us exactly what you mean by it. All right, so here we're about to get a clear definition of what the fuck a drifter is. And the devil responds, I can best define the word drift by saying that people who think for themselves never drift. I'll repeat that one more time. I can best define the word drift by saying that people who think for themselves never drift, while those who do little or no thinking for themselves are drifters. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. He would rather let me occupy, and this is the devil, he would rather let me occupy his mind and do his thinking than go to the trouble of thinking for himself. A drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws in his way without making a protest or putting up a fight. He doesn't know what he wants from life and spends all of his time getting just that. A drifter has lots of opinions, but they are not his own. Most of them are supplied by me. That's in a nutshell of what a drifter is. And that's how the devil describes what a drifter is. I'll read one more little portion of this. The devil also says a drifter is one who is too lazy mentally to use his own brain. That is the reason I can take control of people's thinking and plant my own ideas in their minds. I agree with generally, I agree with what the devil has said. Once again, I don't want to get involved in the spiritual or religious aspect of all of this. I'm just taking it for what it is, the wording. I can agree with someone who doesn't think for themselves and that allows someone else to think for them. I can understand the definition of a drifter. I can get that. Do you understand that, or do you disagree with that? How Napoleon Hill in his conversation with the devil has defined the word drifter. And we can see that there are a lot of drifters here, man. There are a lot of drifters. My thing here, and I'll just interject my thoughts quickly, and it kind of goes into the topic or in more in depth about drifters. So the devil talks about how a drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. That sounds good on the surface value of it, sure. You're allowing others to think for you. My only pushback is that we are all, to some degree, drifters. What do I mean by that? So one can never fully think for himself, right? What do I mean by that? So even your wisest person is going to have to seek counsel from someone else. And I'm not sure if that's what the devil is saying here. But I'm saying to some sort of degree, someone is going to have to think for you, right? I have some ideas, meaning take your most wisest. How about this? Our president. Our president is the top dog, if you will, man. He's the top dog of the land, right? I'm not saying the president is a drifter. I am saying that the president, to some degree, has to listen or follow instructions of someone else, right? I'll reread that again. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. I'm not trying to get too political. I don't want to get political. I'm just using it as an example. Someone that we can pinpoint and we can see and we can recognize. Our president. To some degree, our president is going to find himself influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind, right? Even you, myself, I'm going to find myself being influenced. We have social media. We're using the platform or the medium social media. And we have a lot of propaganda. We have a lot of all kinds of craziness. And those things can influence us. Right? The way of the world can influence us out of our own mind. So you might think one way, but the world can think another, and it can influence you to follow along the lines, if that makes any sense. All I'm just saying is that to some sort of degree, wouldn't we all be considered drifters? To some sort of degree, right? There's many layers to this thing, but to some sort of degree, aren't we all drifters, right? One can't fully think independently on his own. There will be some sort of influence, some sort of control. However you want to describe it, there is going to be some sense of control. Someone is going to influence you in some sort of degree. I just want to throw that out there. I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, I'm not saying that you're lazy. I'm not saying everyone is lazy. However, we do experience some sort of laziness in our lives. I mean, it's just human nature, I would think. A drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws in his way without making a protest or putting up a fight. Okay, I can agree with that. If that's what you define as a drifter. And I'm not, yes. Yes, I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. Once again, there comes a time in our life where we have to find ourselves following and then say, okay, hold up, whoa. Then we start to create those ideas or independent thought on our own. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying. We're all influenced at some point in our lives. Some early, and then some people learn earlier than others. Some people, like myself, learn later in life. Like, okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to get too complicated in this conversation. There are some other things that I want to talk about, but I want to stick to the topic at hand. I don't want to be too long for tonight. Later in the chapter, Napoleon Hill, he's asking the devil more and more questions. Let's get more in depth to what a drifter is. What are the characteristics in defining the drifter? So we got the definition, which I hope we understand what the drifter is. But now Napoleon Hill wants to know, or he wants the devil to get more in deep or in depth what a typical drifter is. So Napoleon Hill, he says, go ahead and describe a typical drifter. Give your description point by point so I can recognize a drifter when I see him. And this is pretty lengthy, so bear with me. So the devil responds, the first thing you will notice about a drifter is his total lack of a major purpose in life. He will be conspicuous by his lack of self-confidence. He will never accomplish anything requiring thought and effort. He spends all he earns and more too, if he can get credit. He will be sick or ailing from some real or imaginary cause and calling to high heaven if he suffers the least physical pain. He will have little or no imagination. He will lack enthusiasm and initiative to begin anything he is forced to undertake, and he will plainly express his weakness by taking the line of least resistance whenever he can do so. He will be ill-tempered and lacking in control over his emotions. His personality will be without magnetism and it will not attract other people. He will have opinions on everything but accurate knowledge of nothing. He may be jack of all trades, but good at none. He will neglect to cooperate with those around him, even those on whom he must depend for food and shelter. He will make the same mistake over and over again, never profiting by failure. He will be narrow-minded and intolerant on all subjects, ready to crucify those who may disagree with him. He will expect everything of others, but will be willing to give little or nothing in return. He may begin many things, but he will complete nothing. He will be loud in his condemnation of his government, but he will never tell you definitely how it can be improved. He will never reach decisions on anything if he can avoid it. And if he is forced to decide, he will reverse himself at the first opportunity. He will eat too much and exercise too little. He will take a drink of liquor if someone else will pay for it. He will gamble if he can do it on the cuff. He will criticize others who are succeeding in their chosen calling. In brief, the drifter will work harder to get out of thinking than most others work in earning a good living. He will tell a lie rather than admit his ignorance on any subject. If he works for others, he will criticize them to their backs and flatter them to their faces. Wow, that was pretty lengthy there. That was pretty lengthy. I wanted to read it first before I give my input on it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Number one, let's start with, let's go back through it and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. The first and foremost, the devil responds by saying, the first thing you will notice about a drifter is his total lack of a major purpose in life. On face, I would agree. I would agree. Someone that's drifting. But someone like myself, I'm like, a drifter is his total lack of a major purpose in his life. So okay. For myself, I still see myself as lacking a major purpose in life. I see myself as that because I don't know what my purpose is. How about this? I'll take a step back. I still don't know the meaning of life. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I made a stream about life and death, and my philosophy, just the beginning, my thought process is that life and death are the same. They're all in unison. It's all the same. It's all of the same cyclical cycle. There's no difference. It's just different points that you reach. And I'm kind of thinking of it in a cyclical way, and I'm also thinking of it in a mathematical way. If you're using like sine and cosine and these functions, when you put it on a graph, they make these interesting graph points or whatever you want to call it. If you ever seen that, man, like I love mathematics, and that's one thing they don't teach us. But anyway, I'm not trying to get too far off the point. But my point of saying is that I still don't understand the meaning of life. I don't understand the meaning of death. I don't understand my purpose in life. So by that, I'm like, are you calling me a drifter? Or am I a drifter? Would you consider me as a drifter? I don't know. I have no idea. I wake up, I'm 40 years old, almost 41. And day to day, I'm waking up, I'm doing whatever I can to survive as a man. I try to take care of myself. I'm doing all these things, but I just don't understand what the fuck the purpose, what the meaning of life is. I don't know why I'm here. I didn't choose to be here. I just don't get it. I don't understand. So you remember how at the beginning he was like a drifter is someone who is influenced and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm just like some sort of empty vessel, and I'm absorbing all of this information, trying to make sense of it, but I don't have any clue of my purpose. So would you consider me as a drifter? I don't know. I'll continue. He will be conspicuous by his lack of self-confidence. Hell, I have to some sort of degree a lack of self-confidence. How can I have confidence in backing up what I just said? How can I have confidence if I don't know the meaning of life? I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why my being exists, my consciousness, my soul, my psyche. I don't know why it's here. And then there's times I'm like, damn, do I even exist? Like, what the fuck? I have no idea. The only thing that keeps me somewhat sane, if you will, is the philosopher Rene Descartes. If you don't know who he is, the Cartesian plane, in mathematics, you got your X and Y or X, Y coordinates. He's the father or supposedly the creator of the Cartesian plane, hence the name Rene Descartes, Cartesian plane. Anyway, but I said all that to say is that he is, there's this quote that he had is that I think, therefore I am. Meaning, by me thinking and having a conscious mind and thinking, okay, I'm contemplating, therefore I do exist, if you will. That's how I perceive the quote. If I'm incorrect, please let me know. Once again, this is a philosophical channel. But by me thinking like that, I'm like, okay, so I do exist. Because sometimes I'm like, yo, this shit cannot be real, man. This is a crazy fucking place, bro. I don't get it. I don't know. Man, I'm on my social media. I'm starting to get a lot of conspiracy theories. And I was at one point, I used to reject conspiracy theories, but I'm like, yo, let me hear what you have to say. Because even in this chapter, and I want to get into it, but I'm going to try to get through this part first, and we'll see how much time I have left. But yes, to some sort of degree, my lack of self-confidence, it shows. Hell, I'm being honest about it. Fuck it. He will never accomplish anything requiring thought and effort. Now that I must say that I myself have accomplished things that have required thought and effort. Hell, my college degrees, my philosophy degree required me to think. It required my thought, and it required my effort. So I can eliminate that one from the list for myself. So I know I don't have that problem. He spends all he earns and more too, if he can get credit. I can scratch that one off my list, because I'm like, at this point, man, I'm 40 years old, and I'm like, yo, I got to think about the future. I be trying to hold on to my little coins. I told you I was furloughed like a few months ago, or damn near 3 months. So, I'm saving. That's what saved my ass, is that I saved. Now this credit part, you don't have to agree with me on this, but credit, I think, is a fucking scam. The fucking United fucking States is in fucking $1 trillion of debt. And who gives them the fucking rating? Who ups their ass? Who ups their credit score ass? Nobody. But here, little old me, I'm trying to keep a high credit score and all of this, and I got to take out debt. And I'm like, you fucking pieces of shit, fucking scam. But with all that being said, I have a credit card, and I try my damnedest not to spend. And you know what? I got penalized on my credit card for some bullshit, right? So what I did was I charged it, but before the bill came, I paid that shit off. My score dropped. Scam. But I'm saying all that to say is that I can scratch this off my list, because I don't spend all I earn. I save. I try to. I try to think about the future and plan, so I can scratch that one off. When I got credit, I have credit now. I try my best not to use that son of a bitch. So, anyway, I still have a lot to learn how to finesse the fucking system, or utilize the system, if you will. He will be sick and ailing from some real or imaginary cause, and calling to high heaven if he suffers the least physical pain. Yeah, I don't have that as of now. So far, I'm not experiencing anything of that nature. I try to eat well. I try to exercise. My sleeping is not the best, but I try to get somewhat quality of sleep. I try to get my ass up and grind like a motherfucker. So I don't think I have that issue as well. So I can scratch that off the list. The next one, he will have little or no imagination. Ooh, okay. So I found myself at some sort of point not having a creative mind or lack of imagination. But I've changed that shit. Why and how? How did I change it? I started buying books. I started reading. So when I was in my philosophy in my undergrad, man, my thoughts were going crazy, and I was enjoying it. I loved it. And then somehow, some way in the midst of after graduating, a little bit further down the line, my imagination stopped, right? But now I have it though. I'm starting to think more now, and just trying to imagine and think and create, which I love this channel and my other gaming channel. I have an imagination, so I can scratch this off my list, man. Like I'm here, man. I'm trying to think and imagine things of the future. I'm trying to dream big. Oh man, I wish I had this. Oh, check this out. This is me right here. Oh no, I don't have it. Oh, I don't have it. Damn. Oh, let's see. Bear with me. I wanted to add this one. Let's see something. Nah, fuck it. I ain't gonna do it. I'll be sure to add it. But my point of saying this is that I'm trying. I am doing. I am thinking bigger now. I'm thinking bigger and imagining myself in different places and stuff like that. I'm just experiencing life. So the imagination has kicked in now. My thoughts are creative, if you will. So I could scratch that off the list for myself. He will lack enthusiasm and initiative to begin anything he is not forced to undertake, and he will plainly express his weakness by taking the line of least resistance whenever he can do so. I can definitely scratch that off the list for myself. I can scratch that off the list. So I can tell you I'm not drifting in that area. Hell, man, I'm enthusiasm. I have enthusiasm. I'm enthusiastic. Man, I'm taking the initiative, man, like with my streaming, just with my life, man. I'm thinking and planning, and man, I could scratch that off the list. I don't know about you, but let me know if you are struggling with any of these things. So I can scratch that off the list for myself. He will be ill-tempered and lacking in control over his emotions. I can scratch that off the list for as well. The reason why I can scratch this one off for myself is because my philosophy degree helped me. How did my philosophy degree help me? Meaning, I have to present an argument, a sound argument, a valid argument, right? I don't have to attack. I don't have to lash out. I don't have to express my emotions. I can base everything on logic, reasoning. You know, I can present that. And if you have a problem with it, you can attack my argument and find where I'm weak, which can make me stronger, right? But I don't have to lash out with my emotions, right? Now I am human. I am human. Then there will be some moments where I can, like my last stream, I did kind of lash out, if you will. I got a little upset, but I didn't rage. How about this? I did get upset, or I made some statements, right? But I was a man enough, and I was logical, and I was reasonable enough to say, oh shit, okay, I made a mistake. I made an apology, and I expressed it, and I cleared my conscience, my mind, and I said, okay, I made a mistake. I made an error, right? So I think I can scratch that off the list. I'm not ill-tempered and lacking in control of my emotions because I try my damnedest. I try my best to lead with logic and reasoning, thanks to my philosophy degree. His personality will be without magnetism, and it will not attract other people. Now this I can say that I don't have a personality that's going to attract people will be drawn to me. I can admit that I don't have that. I'm okay with that. Just a little bit about myself, man. I grew up alone in a sense. I didn't have any brothers or sisters. So a lot of my life I was alone, you know. I was a latchkey kid, you know. So I didn't have that experience of being around people, you know. I had a step dummy at one point in my life. And the dude used to call me a hermit. The dude called me a hermit, man. And I was a little kid and he called me a hermit. I didn't understand the term then, but hell, I'm kind of almost like that now, you know. I don't really fuck around with a lot of people. You know, there was a moment in my life where I did, you know, express myself, and, you know, I was a theater major. My first degree was in theater, so I had that as an opportunity to express myself and all that stuff. But I'm back to my true nature. Man, I'm a loner, if you will. I'm a lone star, you know. I prefer that way. So, I mean, I don't know how the devil or Napoleon Hill responds to that, but I don't have that type of personality. Hell, I can't even get motherfuckers to like my page or like my goddamn, you know. So, I mean, it's okay with me. I don't give a fuck about that. You know, it's nice to have, but that's not my personality. That's not who I am. So I don't know, you know, if he's calling me a drifter by that nature. Oh, well, fuck you and the devil. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, that is what it is. So, I mean, I don't have that type of magnetism or that magnetic personality. Coach Greg Adams, he has that personality. He says he's a loner. He says he grew up alone and so on and so forth. But he has that personality. I don't have that personality. You know? I don't. I have a few friends, and we don't talk all the day, every day, all the time. So I don't know. Do you consider me a drifter by that nature? I don't know. He will have opinions on everything, but accurate knowledge of nothing. So I don't. My philosophy degree, and shout out to Socrates. One thing that I learned from Socrates is all I know is I know nothing, and I live by that. So I can scratch that one off the list right there because I live by that. All I can say is I know nothing. I started off by telling you, hey, I don't know my purpose. What was it? My major purpose in life. I even admitted that. So I can scratch that off the list. For this one, if I have thoughts, but I can't have an opinion on something I don't know. All I know is I know nothing. Shout out to Socrates. So I can scratch that off my list. He may be the jack of all trades, but good at none. Ooh, okay. So check this out. That quote is somewhat misleading because I used to think that was the full quote right there. He may be a jack of all trades, but good at none. And I had made a previous streams. I forgot which one it was. And I talked about my experience when I worked at a gym, and one of the personal trainers, he was like, yo, are you a master of one or something like that? Or a jack of all trades? I didn't know how to respond to that. But let me pull up this quote because that's not the full quote. And the devil or Napoleon Hill are misleading with that shit. Let's see. Pull that up right here. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up on my big screen so we can all read it together. Let's pull it all up together. Yeah, that's a very misleading quote, man. And shame on them for doing that. Jack of all trades, master of none. Full quote. Okay, so let me. Hopefully my screen shows this. I hope it does. Okay, hopefully guys can see this. And I pulled up the quote here, Jack of all trades, master of none. Hopefully you guys can see this. I hope you guys can see this. So the full quote is Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. That is the full quote. And that's what I'm talking about right here, man. That's why I wanted to go line by line with this, because Napoleon Hill or the devil, however you want to interpret this shit, that's misleading. That is very misleading. You may be jack of all trades, but good at none. They misquoted this. That's not the full quote. So I'm going to have to reserve judgment on this thing right here because it's not the full quote. So shame on them. Shame on the author. Shame on the devil. Shame on Napoleon Hill for putting this shit out here and not saying the full quote. Next one. He will neglect to cooperate with those around him, even those on whom he must depend for food and shelter. I can scratch that off the list for myself. Although that I can be a loner, I still can cooperate and I can still work with others. I'm still going to be a loner, if you will, but I can cooperate with others. Hell, I cooperate with people on my job, so on and so forth. So I can scratch that one off for myself. He will make the same mistake over and over again, never profiting by failure. That I can scratch off the list because I can't afford to keep making mistake after mistake. Now, I can make mistakes, sure. But making the same mistake, I can't afford to do that. As a man, I cannot afford to make the same mistake over. I can't survive that way. As a man, I won't be able to survive at all. I don't want to put anybody's situation out there. I'm just saying generally, as a man, I can't make the same mistake over and over again. I would get penalized, you know. I would definitely get penalized, and I will have no growth. Hell, I couldn't have made it this far, 40 years old, with making mistakes, the same mistake over and over and over and over and over and over again. I just wouldn't be able to survive like that. So I can scratch that one off the list for myself. He will be narrow-minded and intolerant on all subjects, ready to crucify those who may disagree with him. I can scratch this one off this list. I'm very open-minded. If you look at my streams, I try to talk about as much as I can. Hell, my last stream, I was talking about the trans women in with no social currency, men who date. I can't even remember the damn quote. Anyway, basically, the stream was about the relationship between men dating transgender women. There was someone who made a post and they said, hey, the reason why men don't really openly date trans women is because there's no social benefit, or there's no social gain from it. All right. And so I talked about that. So what I'm saying is that I'm very open-minded and talk about topics, man. That's what I love about my philosophy degree. I was able to talk about any and everything, right? I might not have the knowledge about it, but I was open to listening to it and learning and gaining knowledge about it. So I can definitely scratch that one off the list for myself. I'm saying all these things in regards to myself, but I would love to hear your thoughts on these things as well. So I'm just using myself as an example in this scenario. So please feel free to talk about it. Send me some comments and we can talk about it. I love that. He will expect everything of others, but be willing to give little or nothing in return. I can scratch that off the list for myself. I don't expect shit from anybody, man. He will expect everything. I don't expect shit from nobody. I try in my streams telling fellas to be kind to themselves, man, because the world ain't gonna be kind to you. I say that because the world ain't gonna give you shit. Man, I mean, the world is so crazy. The world doesn't, or does it? But we get our wisdom, we get everything later in life as guys. And so for me, I don't expect nobody to do shit for me, man. Like, that's why I'm like, I try to stay on my grind. Talking about those mistakes, I try to minimize my mistakes. I definitely don't want fuck ups. I do make mistakes, man. I'm not perfect, man, but I make mistakes, but I try to minimize them shits because no one is going to come and save me, man. It's me versus everything, everybody, yo. So I can definitely scratch that off my list, man. I'm at the point in my life right now is that, and I'm cautious about it, but I have to do this. I want to be, the first word that came to mind is a provider. I don't want to say provider because that leads down to some interesting territories. What I am saying is that I think of it as a business owner, right? Meaning I hire people depend on me for work. I like that idea. It's starting to grow on me. Once again, I told you I grew up isolated, much of my life. So for me, it's like, damn, I have to look over people. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. So I don't have to look over people. But now I'm starting to consider it now. Talking about that imagination. My mind is starting to consider it now. Like, yo, like I would rather be the person people want to get a job from. I want people to be like, yo, I want to work for Monk. I want that. I can embrace that. And I know with experience that I could be a good leader. So I definitely can scratch that one off the list. Another one, let's see. The next one says, he may begin many things, but he will complete nothing. Now, in my past, I can tell you that I have struggled with that in my past. Meaning when I was in college or undergrad, even in my graduate degree, I didn't finish my graduate degree. My graduate degree was in mathematics, developmental mathematics. I think developmental education. No, developmental developmental education, and my specialty was in mathematics. I didn't finish that. I did not finish that. So that's a good definition of me drifting. Even in my undergrad, I started many majors, if you will. I was once a Spanish major. I was so many majors. But I did eventually finish my first undergraduate degree in theater, and I actually picked up the second degree, which was in philosophy. So to some sort of degree, I did have that. Now I don't have that so much. So I can't afford to start shit and then finish it. Well, why? Because that costs money and my time. My job, I don't have time to go out and start shit and then put money and effort into it and then don't finish it. So I don't really have that issue. However, for the future though, my mind is like, okay, if I'm gonna put my time and effort into this, I gotta go full throttle with that motherfucker, right? So I can say in the past I was a drifter. Now, not so much, because now I'm thinking and being rational about my decisions to the most part. Next, it says he will be loud in his condemnation of his government, but he will never tell you definitely how it can be improved. Now, I have my disagreements about our government, my government, your government, our government. Maybe my voice is not loud, but I can tell you I'm very unhappy with the government. Coach Greg Adams said this about the government. He was like, the government is, and I might be misquoting it. It's been a while since he said it, but generally he was like, the government doesn't, it's not really meant to create jobs, if you will. I think that's some of the nature. But how about this? We have a lot of people in the government making lots of money, right? But they can't fix the issues of the people. That's my point. That's my point right there. Like, you haven't fixed shit. I said earlier, the government is in $1 trillion of debt. $1 trillion of debt. That's concerning to me, right? I don't have to be loud to say that. Like, yo, that's concerning. And you're my leader. You're supposed to take care of me, but we're in $1 trillion of debt. Yeah, I can have my discomfort and I can be discouraged about that. Now the second part says, but he will never tell you definitely how it can be improved. Maybe this is the nihilist in me, but no government is good. No government is good. Yeah, they showed the highlights of the successes of certain aspects, but they all have flaws. All have flaws. Why? Because we're human. We're all human. So some people like capitalism. Some people support capitalism, but capitalism is not the best. It's not. Who's benefiting from the capitalism? Right? That's the part we need to start thinking about. Now, for myself, I'm like, well, shit, fuck it. I need to start benefiting from that motherfucker. That's how I'm looking at it. But how can it be improved? Man, all of this shit is just those who are in power. So though it's just like a kid's game. You remember when we were out in the outside, we make rules and shit like that. So it's good to be on the good side of it rather than the bad side of those rules. That's just how I'm gonna say it. 1 second, let me get a little sip of water. Almost finished with this one. Almost finished. Let's see. He will never reach decisions on anything if he can avoid it. And if he is forced to decide, he will verse himself at the first opportunity. The only thing that I can think of off the top of my head for myself is when I was drifting is with my education. You know, there was so many. I was like, yo, I want to do this. I want to do that. I was drifting, right? Now at my point, I'm 40 years old, almost 41. I'm like, yo, I need to start making decisions. So I can scratch this one off the list for myself as well. He will eat too much and exercise too little. I can definitely scratch this one off the list. I went to the gym today. I was super excited. I worked on legs today. Oh, yo, just a sidebar. I'm so glad I went to the gym today. Yo, I saw, oh my goodness. I want to say this was her, but I saw my gym baddie, like the type that I like. She had to be at least like 6'1", blonde, blue eyes, pale skin, super slim. I'm talking about flat back. Ooh, that's another thing I needed to add. I'm talking about flat back, slim. I was like, yes, that's my type. If you didn't know, man, I love flatbacks, man. Look, let me. I check this out. Let's see if I got it. Yeah, check this out.
I'll have the chicken. White meat only.
I love flatbacks. Man, she made my gym day today. Not that I go and look for her or any other body, you know, but it was just good to see. I was like, yo, she's my type, yo. She was like at least 6'1", pale skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. I was like, flat back. I'll be flat back. Yo, I was like, yeah, man. But yeah, with all that being said, man, I don't eat too much, if you will. Hell, I can't even eat sweets. I can't even eat the things that I used to eat when I was a kid, man. Even junk food and shit. It just disrupts my body, my flow, my lifestyle. Like, I just started getting back to work and everything, and work can be a little inconvenient for my life. And so at times I'm working at odd times of the day, and so sometimes I'm having to eat gas store food or fast food. And there was a small little moment where I was eating McDonald's and shit. And I was like, fuck, Pizza Hut and shit. I was like, okay, snapped out of it, got my routine back, or somewhat of a lifestyle back, and finally went to the gym today. So I was like, yes, this feels good. Ate okay. So I don't have that to worry about, man. Next, he will take a drink of liquor if someone else will pay for it. I could scratch that off the list for myself. Why? Because I have not had a drink in a very fucking long time. So I don't drink. I don't smoke drugs or anything like that. I don't do I don't do none of that, man. Which I'm fine with, man. And I'm not against anybody who does that shit. Live your life, do what you do. Just for myself, I'm getting older, man, and these things I find to be a hindrance on my life. So like cigarettes, if I were to pick up cigarettes, it's a hindrance, man. It's just a hindrance for me, man. I can't exercise and be smoking cigarettes. It's just a hindrance for the betterment of my life. I can't even smoking weed. I can't smoke weed on my job. Why? Because I'll not have a job, And so that's why I'm like, those things are hindrances for my life, and I just don't want that. That's why I don't partake in it, like drinking and shit like that, man. I don't partake in it. Not that I'm against it. Do what you do. That's your life. I'm living mine. The next one says he will gamble if he can do it off the cuff. I don't gamble. Part of my job is we travel to Montana, and man, they have a lot of casinos. If you've never been to Montana, they have casinos at the gas station. They have casinos every fucking where. I was like, but when I don't really see any people, a lot of people, partaking in the gambling, I just don't see it. We have it here in Wyoming. If you didn't know, I live in Wyoming. We have some little gambling things they have. I just don't partake in it. That's not my thing. He will criticize others who are succeeding in their chosen calling. I can scratch that off my list. I praise those who have found their calling. I'm like, wow, I want to know what is it they've done, or I always ask. I don't want to give too much away, but I have some interest for my future, and I'm asking these individuals, like, how did you know? How did you find out? Like, how did you know before you went to school, or So I could scratch it off my list, man. I seek guidance from those people, those individuals. I'm like, damn, how did you know? Like, I don't know how, and I don't know what, So I'm always asking for guidance from those people who have found their calling, if you will. So I scratched that off the list. In brief, the drifter will work harder to get out of thinking than most others work in earning a good living. I can scratch that off of the list because I am using my platform for thinking, my philosophy platform for thinking. It says will work harder getting out of thinking, so I can scratch that off the list. I'm working harder and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking more to gain wisdom so I can make better decisions for my life. And also if for those who see my life and they can be like, oh shit, how'd you do it? Hey, this is what I did. So I can scratch this off the list. He would tell a lie rather than admit his ignorance on any subject. This goes back to Socrates. All I know is I know nothing. I can admit when I don't know anything. I can admit when I'm clueless. I can admit these things, so I could scratch that off the list. And finally, if he works for others, he will criticize them to their backs and flatter them to their faces. I don't criticize. I'll use this as an example. My current job. I don't criticize my job. I don't criticize my coworkers, if you will. I don't criticize these individuals. Why? Because I know, let's talk about purpose. So I might not know my purpose fully, but I know my purpose is not to be an employee. I could start right there. That's powerful right there. I could start right there. I know that my purpose is not to be an employee for the rest of my life. Why am I saying that? It's because I don't have to criticize them. I understand that this is the nature of being an employee and the circumstances that comes with it. All of that shit just comes with it. All I can do is keep my head down, focus on myself, make sure I'm doing what I need to do, and move forward. So I can scratch that off the list. All right. And that was the last one. Let me know what you think about those things that I went down the list about. I can say, for the most part, I can say that I am not a drifter. I have questions about some of these things, but I can honestly say that I am not a drifter, right? I do have concerns. I'm like the meaning and purpose of life. I have questions about that, but I don't consider myself as a drifter. Let's see. We're about 55 minutes in deep. Let's talk about the non-drifter. This one is not as long. So it won't be too long. All right, bear with me. Hang in there with me, man. All right, so here we go. Napoleon Hill, he's talking to the devil once again. He says, "You have given me a graphic description of the drifter. Please now describe the non-drifter so that I may recognize him on sight." The devil says, "The first sign of a non-drifter is this. He is always engaged in doing something definite through some well-organized plan, which is definite. He has a major goal in life toward which he is always working, and many minor goals, all of which lead toward his central scheme. The tone of his voice, the quickness of his step, the sparkle in his eyes, the quickness of his decisions clearly mark him as a person who knows exactly what he wants and is determined to get it, no matter how long it may take or what price he must pay. If you ask him questions, he gives you direct answers and never falls back on evasions or resorts to subterfuge. I believe that's how you pronounce it, subterfuge. He extends many favors to others, but accepts favors sparingly or not at all. He will be found up front. He will be found up front whether he is playing a game or fighting a war. If he does not know the answers, he will say so frankly. He has good memory, never offers an alibi for his shortcomings. He never blames others for his mistakes, no matter if they deserve the blame. He used to be known as a go-getter, but in modern times he is called a go-giver. You will find him running the biggest business in town, living on the best street, driving the best automobile, and making his presence felt wherever he happens to be. He is an inspiration to all who come into contact with his mind. The major distinguishing feature of the non-drifter is this: he has a mind of his own and uses it for all purposes. Woo! Come on now. Let's get into this one. We'll make this one fast, man. So I do have to admit, I like that Napoleon Hill did want to know what a non-drifter and a drifter was, or a drifter non-drifter. I admire him for wanting to know that. So the devil, let's go line by line. The first sign of a non-drifter is he is always engaged in doing something definite through some well-organized plan, which is definite. He has a major goal in his life towards which he is always working, and many minor goals, all of which lead toward his central scheme. Okay. Generally, overall, I can say I agree with this, and I am on this path right now. Let's see, some things that he's always engaged in doing something definite. I don't know what that really fully means, doing something definite. I don't know technically what that means through some well-organized plan. I have plans. They may not be well organized, and why my goals are not well organized is because I'm still learning, and I can only prepare as much as I can. I don't know what lies ahead, so I can only plan as much as possible for the things of the future, right? His major goal in life is toward which he is always working. Yes, I'm working towards a goal. I told you I don't want to be an employee anymore. That's not my passion. That's not my mission. Shout out to Robert Kiyosaki, the cash flow quadrant. My goal is to get the hell out of being an employee. I don't like it. I don't want to be self-employed. I want to be ultimately in the investor quadrant. I want to express freedom. So I must say that I'm not fully all, like in step in step with this, but I'm working towards it. I'm working. I'm mentally thinking, I'm preparing, I'm getting it. I'm going. The tone of his voice, the quickness of his step, the sparkle in his eyes, the quickness of his decisions clearly mark him as a person who knows exactly what he wants and is determined to get it, no matter how long it may take or what price he must pay. I would say that's me. That's me. I'm working towards this, man. I don't know how long it's going to take. I know I have a lot of roadblocks and troubles ahead, so on and so forth. It's not an easy journey, if you will. But I can say that I'm working for it, man. I'm pushing forward, man. I'm on it, man. I'm trying to get it. So I can agree with that, and I can mark myself on with this one. If you ask him questions, he gives you direct answers and never falls back on evasions or resorts to subterfuge. I have to look up what subterfuge is. I don't know what that means. Let me look it up real quickly on my phone. Subterfuge. Subterfuge. Let's see what they say.
Subterfuge.
Yep. Deceit used in order to achieve one's goal. Trickery, evasion, deceit, cheating. Ooh. Let's talk about that one right fast. Let's talk about that one. So if you ask me questions, if I don't know it, I just don't know it. That's it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to make myself seem like I do know it. I don't know it. Hell, I just used a great example. I didn't know what subterfuge meant. And I looked it up. You know, I admitted that. Like, so that's my personality. That's who I am. Philosophy just really groomed me to accept that and say, hey, it's okay to not know. So if you ask me questions, I'm gonna give you somewhat direct answers. If you ask me what's my social, I'm not telling you that shit. You know, so it depends on the nature of the context or the nature or context of the questions and who it's coming from. There's a whole story behind it. You just can't ask me any fucking thing and then you won't expect me to just, give you out. No, hell no, fuck that. Come on, man. Like, no, I'm not gonna be that much of an open book, motherfucker. But I'm not gonna. Here's the thing about this cheating. Never falls back on evasions or resorts to subterfuge or cheating or all of that. I made a video on my gaming channel about cheating. I play this game called The Last of Us multiplayer. And motherfuckers be cheating on it. It's an old game. And it's online. But motherfuckers be cheating. I have not resorted to cheating. I just want to play the game. I'm using that as an example here. However, I made a video saying, my video, I was like, yo, because it frustrated me playing against people who cheat. It frustrated me so bad, but something clicked, and I was like, you know what? Why get upset at these people who are cheating? Accept it. Because that's how people get ahead in fucking life, is by cheating. Right? That's how motherfuckers get in head, by cheating, bro. Cheating, it's a part of our life. I use the example with these politicians. They're cheating, bro. Come on, if you make X amount of dollars, how in the fuck are you making millions and millions? Like, come on, man, you're cheating the system, bro. Whether you're at the top or whether you're at the bottom, cheating is a part of life, right? I titled the stream or the clip I uploaded, "If you ain't cheating." I think Coach Greg Adams said this one. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, bruh. Cheating is a part of life, man. Cheating is a part of sports. Motherfuckers be cheating. I don't want to start naming names. But cheating, motherfuckers win Super Bowls by cheating. Hell, the fucking game itself. You got referees, you got business owners. Motherfuckers be cheating. I even said on the stream, I was like, yo, motherfuckers become president by cheating. Cheating is a part of our lives. Come on with me, baby. Come on with me. Don't leave me hanging. Because when your ass was in high school, middle school, or elementary, or even college, when your ass did not study, when your motherfucking ass didn't study shit, you was out there partying, smoking, drinking, West Coasting. You was out there with the guitar. You was out there with the cues. You was stuffing the yard. Having a good old time, yo. You was like, man, fuck that test right now. Man, I want to go have fun, man. Right? Come on with me. Don't lie to me, yo. When that test came, you was like, oh, shit. So you probably first, you tried to cram a lot of shit in. That shit didn't work. So you was like, fuck it. Let me go on, cheat my way through this motherfucker. Don't leave me hanging, motherfuckers. Cheating is a part of life, bro. We be cheating, bro. It's a part of life, man. Hell, there was a scandal that was uncovered how motherfucking wealthy people were cheating to get their kids in these schools. Come on, man. Come on. Cheating is a part of life, bro. It's a part of this thing, man. Come on. So I have to question what they mean about this bullshit, this cheating subterfuge. Come on, man. It's a part of life, bro. Come on. Don't lie to me. You've cheated before. Hell, you in a fucking relationship. You saying you love that motherfucker. You cheating. Come on, man. Motherfuckers be cheating in relationships, bro. Come on, man. Don't act fucking brand new with me, bro. Don't do me that. Don't do me that. Motherfuckers be cheating, bro. Cheating is a part of life, man. It's what we do as humans, bro. We cut corners, bro. We cut fucking corners, man. Businesses, these big businesses, they be cheating, bro. Motherfuckers be cheating on their taxes. Motherfucker, come on, man. The list goes on, bro. Don't leave me fucking hanging, bro. Don't do that. So we're gonna have to put a little asterisk there. How about that? Because we gotta talk about that, motherfuckers. We cheat, bro. We cheat. Come on, man. You be looking, hey, you be condoning the shit. You be condoning the shit. Come on, your friend needed some answers. You was like, hey, all right, look. You know, come on, yo. Come on, yo. So we'll put an asterisk on that one. All right, here we go. He extends many favors to others, but accepts favors sparingly or not at all. I have not come across being asked for a favor. It's been a while. But for my friends, if they needed a favor from me, I would be there for, as a favor. I think I'm okay with this one. It's been a while since someone said, hey man, can I ask for a favor? I cannot remember or recall something like that of the such in a recent time. So I think I'm okay with that one. He will be found up front whether he is playing a game or fighting a war. Yeah, I don't want to be a front. I don't want to be a front. I don't have to be a front, right? How about this? Can you name me all the billionaires in this fucking world? Nope. You can't. They not in the forefront. They play the background. I want to be in the background, man. That's why we have puppets, if you will. That's why we have motherfucking, what's the word I'm looking for? People who are the face of companies, models, or we have these people that are face of products and shit like that, right? I don't want to be in the forefront. So I'm giving some pushback here. I don't have to be the fucking front of playing a game or fighting a war. People who are in the forefront of the wars are the people who are the pawns. Like those people get killed, deleted. Like, come on, bro. I don't want to be the pawn. I don't want to be the first to rush to go and no. So I'm giving some pushback on that, bro. If he does not know the answers, he will say so frankly. Yes, I've already said that. All I know is I know nothing. Yes, I've already said that. I've already established that. He has good memory. My memory, I have not taken a memory test, so I don't know how well my memory is. Never offers an alibi for his shortcomings. An alibi? Why would I offer an alibi for my shortcomings? I need more context to this because how about this? For my job, when I don't know something, I say I don't know something. Like, hey, I don't know this. Do you know not the answer, but do you know what this means, or so on and so forth? So yeah, I don't have that problem, man. I don't like it's better for me to know than not know. So I don't have that issue. He never blames others for his mistakes, no matter if they deserve the blame. Yeah, I don't want to blame nobody for my shit. Yo, I said that on the other one. I was like, I got to take care of myself. I can't depend on nobody. I don't expect nobody to take care of me. The excuses got to go, bro. No one gives a fuck about your excuses, my excuses. Bro, I just got to get out here and get it, man. So yeah, I don't suffer from that. Almost finished. He used to be known as a go-getter, but in modern times, he is called a go-giver. I have no idea what that means, a go-giver. But I could say that I'm a go-getter. Excuse me, I'm rubbing my eye. I could say that I am a go-getter. Damn. Shit, time is gone fast. Anyway, I'm going to try to speed it up. I can say that I'm a go-getter because I'm still planning and pushing forward with stuff. Hell, I'm a go-getter. That's why I moved out to Wyoming. I'm a go-getter. You will find him running the biggest business in town. I told you about that business. Hey man, I'm trying to get there, baby. Living on the best street. I'm trying to get that, baby. Driving the best automobile. I'm trying to drive some of them good things, man. And making his presence felt wherever he happens to be. I think I can't avoid that one. So when I become a man of means and wealth, I don't think there's gonna be no hiding. Motherfuckers are gonna know. They're gonna sense it. They're gonna see it. They're gonna smell it. They're gonna know. So there's no getting around that one. He is an inspiration to all who come into contact with his mind. Yes. So here's an example. My channel. I told you that's my channel right there. My channel, when I opened up, I said I like to seek and share wisdom. Why? Because of inspiration. Like, yo, I want to share this shit. I want to be an inspiration to somebody. I said that kind of like a little bit earlier. I was like, yo, so when I become successful and someone asks me, hey, how did you do it? Hey, I want to be able to share, like, yo, I'm sharing the wisdom now. Let's see. The major distinguishing feature of the non-drifter is this. He has a mind of his own and uses it for all purposes. Yes, indeedy. I have a mind of my own, man. I'm creating. I'm thinking. I'm creating my space. I would agree with that. And I think I have that quality. Yo, man, I thank you for hanging with me, man. I didn't think it was going to take this long. We about like maybe an hour and 15 in, close to an hour and 15 in. I really appreciate you for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts, man. I really want to listen and gain some wisdom from others, What do you think about it? Do you agree with everything that the devil and Napoleon Hill discussed? Do you find yourself checking off all boxes for one side and checking off all others? Tell me, do you kind of like how myself, I checked off a lot of boxes over here, but there were a few I was like, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are, man. And if you have any thoughts on what I shared, let me know. I really appreciate that, man. I'm glad to be streaming. I wanted to make sure I stream. I didn't want it to be this late, but I got to get some rest because I don't know what time my on duty time is, but I'm just glad to be streaming. It is a pleasure. It is an honor, man. I love it. I really enjoy this. This is my creativity, man. So I really appreciate that. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit the like button, send me some comments, and please subscribe. All right. Until next time, we're going to come out with some more conversations, more discussions, more readings. That's what I enjoy doing, is reading, gaining knowledge, man. I love wisdom. I love philosophy. So yeah, man, as always, peace. Fellas, we got to be kind to ourselves. Once again, nobody coming to save us, bruh. It's just us on our own, individually. Hey, we got to pull ourselves up and get it, man. We got to be a go-getter. Peace.
Just let me eat you one term. You gonna sleep for 3 days, my baby. I'm gonna make you cry.
How you gonna show us?
Ay, ay, ay!